I'm like Pastor Godso, in the sense that, unlike Pastor Godso who can sing, I can't sing. However, Raymond said to me to get a group together. And I sent out a messenger message to people who from the West Indies, and none of them responded. One person read it. And then I started looking at my culture. Now, if you are from Trinidad, you know very well our culture is not kosher for Seventh-day Adventist audience in a church. So, I had to think, because Raymond was calling. So what I came up with is to show you the foods we'll have at Christmas time. And in showing you these foods, I had to sanitize them. So bear with me. For those who are Trinidadians or West Indian, this is a different take, an Adventist style foods from Trinidad. Next slide, please. Trinidad is we have the Spanish culture. So we make something we call pastels. And pastel is made with cornmeal and meat. And I'm not telling you guys all the type of meat they put in it. So for the vegan people, I don't know about pastel without meat. However, the next slide, please. This is what it looked like if you're going to eat into it. Next slide, please. Now, this one, Seventh-day Adventists can eat. How I know? It is called pay me. And pay me is a sweet version of pastel. And I usually make it sometimes. And this one is good. This is kosher. Adventist-style kosher. The next one is ginger beer. And those of you who are here, I know Brother Carr, know how much we like ginger beer. West Indian likes ginger beer. The next slide, please, is sorrel. And sorrel is a drink that we make at Christmas time. And so that one is good. The next slide, please, is sponge cake. And sponge cake is usually like a pound cake, and it's regular, so we have that at Christmas time. The next slide, please. This is what we call black cake. I'll tell you a little secret. When my kids were small, they used to call it rum cake. And the reason being, most people make black cake, but they put a lot of alcohol in it. So this is the truth. Next slide, please. This we call butter bread, and at Christmas time, we do a lot of breads. So this is the butter bread. Next slide, please. This one is sweet bread, and you would have had it because I make it often, and so this one. Next slide, please. This is called cassava pone, and we have that in common with my Filipino brethren. However, there's a gentleman from Guyana who makes the best pone. It actually tastes like my mother pone. And he gave me one a few weeks back. I had it for dinner, and I had it for breakfast. That's how much I like cassava pone. Now, the next slide you will see is a dish we call callaloo. And callaloo is a dish, I think, in the India, they call it paneer, but we call it callaloo. And you see that Scotch bonnet pepper there? Yeah, my sister will make callaloo and will always put a Scotch bonnet pepper on top. Callaloo is good. You can make it vegan style with all the other things that Trinidadians like to put in it. Next slide, please. This is the peas we call pigeon peas, and you can stew it. And again, it could be, Adventist approved. Next slide, please. This is a pigeon peas pilau. And Trinidadians love pilau. And they can make pilau and have pilau morning, noon, and night. And Pilau is similar to biryani. You can make it meatless, so you can have a meatless pilau. Next slide, please. Now, Trinidad have for Christmas time, and I heard another culture mention it, people will go from, house to house. And in Trinidad, at Christmas time, we have something called parang. Music is largely performed around Christmas time when singers and instrumentalists, collectively known as the panaderos, travel from house to house in the community, often joined by friends, neighbors, and families, using whatever instrument that was at hand. So sometimes they used to have the girl, the guitar, or sometimes they have the girl bottle and spoon, and bottle and spoon make good noise. I'll give you next slide, please. And this is a picture of a parang group, and you see it's various people, young people, and they have competitions in it. I was trying to find a parang music that I could have played at the church, but since Willowdale is 70 years old, and I'm 70 years old, and I don't want them to put me out, I decided I was not going to bring a parang music to the church. But the next thing I brought, next slide please, we make coconut drops. And so I did bring coconut drops so if you reach in time, there's coconut drops in the fellowship hall. And this is a slightly, sanitized, Claudette approved Trinidad tradition. Thank you.